This car is brilliant, guys. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And how's it going there? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Canine. And today, guys, I'm finally doing my Forza Horizon 5 drift tuning tutorial. Now, I'm going to start off with one of my favorite cars in this game, which is the 2x2 fastback barn find car that we get in the game. And we're going to go from bare bones, which is where she's at now. Let's just make sure. There you go, absolute bare bones. And we are going to build it fully in this video to where I'm a fan of how she drives. So, we're going to start off with the upgrades, of course. Now, I don't want to build this into a 8,000 horsepower, FD car. I want to build it between somewhere like, between 600 to 800 horsepower. Preferably keeping the stock engine, but we may have to engine swap it, which would be unfortunate. But yeah, gonna go step by step together. Right, here we go, guys. So we're gonna start off with our aspiration. Obviously, the stock engine is not gonna get anywhere too special. I want to try avoid turbos because I like the superchargers more. So that's where we're gonna start. Obviously, rear wheel drive, so I'm not gonna mess with any of that. Ooh. So if you guys didn't know, when this car is spoken about in the game, how it says it's from a movie, it's actually from the movie called The Bullet. This is known as the Bullet Mustang. And very, very simply, it's an amazing movie with arguably one of the best car chase scenes just ever. It's such a fantastic chase scene. It's between... We're gonna have to make these tires wider. They look really, really horrible. It's between this Mustang and a 69 Charger, which is absolutely incredible. So entertaining. Anyway, guys, basically I'm just going with aesthetics for the most part. But we've actually done our first important modification with our tires here. So basically, I've made them a little wider, which will add grip to the car. Now, one of the first things you can do when you start driving the car, if it feels like it struggles to get to angle, as soon as you get to angle, it just spins or it straightens out. Your tires could be a big factor of that, okay? Now, with your tire compound, there is drift compound in this game, but what I've noticed in building a couple of drift cars here is these tires have a lot of grip. So, personally, all my cars I've actually enjoyed driving so far have all had their stock tires. At max, they've probably had street tires. But yeah, almost all my cars right now are running their stock tires. I just find the drift tires add so much grip to the car. Now, I'm just basically going to just go through here. So just race clutch for obvious reasons. With your transmission, I have a 7-speed manual shifter, but I don't see the need in having my 7th gear for anything. So I just go the race transmission, just makes the car a 6-speed. And as you can see there by the notation on screen, unlocks full gear ratio tuning, which is incredibly important. Also going to go with the drive line, get rid of some weight. And then same thing here. Notice how we're going drift differential. And again, unlocks full differential tuning. These unlocks for the tuning are incredibly important for later on, guys. Very, very, very important. Brakes, again, going with the race brakes to unlock that tuning. And of course, being a drift car, going with the drift suspension, and as always, unlocks that tuning for us as well. Race roll bars, again, the whole reason for doing this is to unlock that tuning. And you can lighten your car. It's totally up to you. Personally, I like lightening it a little bit, especially with these old muscle cars, because it just makes them a little easier to drive and increases that power to weight ratio. Now, here we come to power. Now, like I said, I just kind of want to go at least to about 600 to 800 horsepower, somewhere there. But a few of these upgrades are very important. Your cams. That will actually increase the rev range of your car, which can increase the length of your gears and comes into tuning and things like that because you can rev your car out. So quite often having the cams there are very helpful. Looks like we're definitely into the 600 range. The flywheel makes the car rev a bit quicker when you put the clutch in and hit the gas to rev the car to do a clutch kick. your flywheel, being a lighter flywheel just means it revs up a bit quicker. So it means those clutch kicks will be more effective in the long run. Where are we at? Almost at 700 horsepower. I think what we'll do is we'll hit 700 and there we go. Wait, can we just hit 700 on the dot? That would be amazing. Okay, 680. No, not quite. Actually, no, let's take that out and we'll go for an exhaust, shall we? Oh, 699, of course. Let's have a listen, guys. Let's have a listen. I think I'm hitting the right button. Come on, rev. Why you don't want to rev? Rev! Rev! Alright, whatever. We'll just go with the big boy exhaust. They generally sound the best. Alright. And alright, let's go with 703 for the horsepower for now. But there you go, guys. That's just the basic upgrades. I had a number in my head of the horsepower. I'm actually kind of looking at those tires. I have a feeling that the tires might be a little on the big side. So we've got 245s in the front, 255s in the rear. You can go all the way to 345s, but that would literally be like 1,000 horsepower build. 345s are insane tires. They're huge. But there we go, guys. Those are the performance upgrades. A solid 60 grand down the drain. Solid B-class car, which is going to be awesome. Now, the important part is the tuning. Now, personally, I always just start at a differential because the differential is always fairly simple. Now, there's two different ways you can tune your differential, guys. You can either go for the welded diff, which is 100-100, which just makes the whole car fairly simple to drift. Or you can go for a limited slip differential, which basically means your acceleration is going to be quite high, generally going 90 to 100. Your deceleration is going to go from anywhere between 0, 30, 40, somewhere around there. Basically just means when you hit the gas, your tires will spin at the same time. When you're off the gas, they won't spin at the same time, so your car will grip up a little bit. Just to start off, we're going to go bare basics. We're just going to go for the welded diff. We'll see what happens. If we like it, we like it. If we don't, we'll come in and fiddle with it a little bit. Braking is incredibly important and backwards in this game. So in Forza, I don't know why it's backwards, but basically when you're drifting, you want more front brake bias. But Forza being weird, you put it towards the rear. Now, you can just go to 100% to the rear. Personally, I like having a little bit of a difference there. It depends on how we feel. So as we start driving, when we start using the brake mid-drift, I may come in here and adjust. But generally, I have it 90% of the way to the rear. And also, with the brake pressure, you want to lower that because it's going to come really handy when it comes to your tandems so that you can use your brakes, get right up and close, but you don't lose your tires spinning, okay? Or any momentum, you know. Aero doesn't really matter with drifting. You can have a bit of front aero. It helps a little bit, but overall, aero doesn't really do anything. With your dampening stiffness. Now, generally, you don't want to mess with this all too much. Dampening stiffness is pretty good normally. But your bump stiffness, you want to be at about 50% of the rebound stiffness, okay? So mine looks roughly in the middle right now. We'll leave it like that. Okay, then we come to springs. Now, ride height, I mean, drift car, don't make your drift car a monster truck. I'm sure we all can agree with that. With your front springs, you don't really want to mess with that too much. Just leave it stock because it's generally pretty good. With your rear, now, if you go more towards soft, it means your rear tires are going to have a lot more grip. If it goes towards stiff, your rear tires are going to have less grip because basically your car squats when you hit the gas. If you have very low rear suspension stiffness, if it's quite soft, your car's going to squat to the rear, causing more weight of the car to go to the back of the car. More weight on the rear tires means more grip. It is that simple. We're going to leave it stock for now, but if as we're driving, it's one of the ways to add or lose grip. Roll bars are very much the same thing. We're going to leave it stock for now, but if you go towards soft, more grip. Go towards stiff, less grip. Generally with a low horsepower build, if you add a bit of stiffness to the rear roll bars, it will make it a bit easier to keep those tires spinning. Alignment. Okay, so alignment is where it gets a little interesting and does a lot of things. So, real quick. The front camber and the front caster, leave them alone. That's all about how much steering angle you have in the car. Don't really touch it. Just leave it alone. Now, we're going to go to the rear camber. Now, the rear camber is all about how much your wheels in the back are slanted, okay? If we have a whole ton of rear camber, it's going to make our wheels really angled, meaning a lot less of the tire is touching the ground, in turn, a lot less grip. Now you don't want your wheels to be straight, because then when you get to angle and things like that, the tires aren't going to work very well. You always want a little bit of negative camber, but the more negative camber, the less grip. Generally, I wouldn't go below 0.5, 0.6 rear camber if you're going for like tons of grip. We'll leave it at 1.5 for now, but again, it's one of the many ways in your tune you can adjust that rear grip to keep them tires spinning depending on your power level. Now, toe will totally change how your car drives. Okay, it does a lot of things with the suspension of your car. Now, when you toe out the front, basically it gives more like effective steering angle, allows you to throw your car in a lot harder. So when you go for initiation, if you have a ton of toe out, you're more than likely to be able to catch it. But if you're going for a more realistic build, which we're kind of going for realistic here, you generally want to go between 1 and 2 to 2.5, something like that. Because 5 degrees of toe out is not too realistic. But if your guy's whole goal with this is to go for maximum points in them drift zones, the more toe out you have, the more likely you're going to get those massive entries and big points. Now, with your toe out in the, your toe in the rear, when you toe out in the rear, it's going to basically make your corners a little bit wider and your car a little more slippery. Whereas if you toe in the rear, it's going to give your car, it's going to feel a lot more controllable. So generally beginners, you want to go a bit of toe in. Those again going for them higher scores, you want to toe out a bit. I'm just going to go with a very small amount of toe out. But again, you can increase it and you just get wider corners and it's better for those point sections. Gearing, when you're going for more of a realistic build, you don't want to fiddle with it too much. But other than that, when you the final drive up top, if you push it more towards speed, it's going to lengthen your gears dramatically, all of them. You push it towards acceleration, it's going to shorten your gears, all of them all at once, dramatically, and it's going to make a big effect. What we're going to do is we're going to start driving the car. When we find out which gear the car likes to sit in right off the bat, what you're going to do is you're going to take the other gears and you're going to push them towards acceleration and make them very, very short and very, very close to the gear that the car likes to be in, so that if you happen to hit a longer corner and you shift up, you stay in that power band, which is very important. With your tires, again, you don't really want to mess with the front too much, but that rear tire grip, rear tire pressure is all about that final bit of fine tuning that comes with the car. The lower the tire pressure, the more tires going to be touching the road. The more grip you have, the higher the tire pressure, the less of the tires touching the road, the less grip you have. It is really that simple. So this is the basic tune we've done to this car. We've fiddled with a few things here and there. I can guarantee you we're going to be fiddling with a whole lot more as we start driving, because the wheel in this game, they fussy as hell. But let's hop out of here and let's get to drifting. Right, let's get into it, guys. So let's do our first runs here in our 2x2 Mustang. Well, you can clearly see she wants to get sideways. So immediately I can tell for these little corners here, the car really likes third gear. But what I can also tell is, I mean, there's a little bit of water on the roads, which might make a little difference to how the car feels. But what I can tell straight away is our tires, I'm fairly happy with our selection, because the car's having no trouble spinning them at all. Nothing at all with the problems. Also, you can tell by the front end, the front end's got enough grip to keep the car going in the direction we want, but not so much grip that it's actually going to pull the car out of drift. So we have made a fairly good tire selection. Another thing we can tell is the car sounds amazing because it's a Mustang with a classic old V8, as they should be. Alright, cool. So with the basic warm-up of the car, we can definitely tell a lot of things are really, really good. But this is where it becomes the difficult bit. This is where we have to get into the nitty-gritty and the fine tuning of the car. Now, one of my favorite little places to tune a car is just a little drift zone up the road. Where is it? This little drift zone down here. Like I said, I'm not much of a points going guy. I just like the route. It's about as close to a fun little toge that isn't a mountain. But here we go, guys. God, this car sounds amazing. Alright, so this is where you're going to get a real feel for the gearing. Here we go. Man, this thing feels so different. I was just driving an S13 that I just finished a tune for. And I was just driving that before starting this video, so this car feels dramatically different than that S15 does. Dude, we may have done the bare basics of this car, but it feels amazing. A lot of the mistakes you guys are seeing being made is driver error. The car itself, man, feels incredible. Like all the other cars I've built, I've got an LS swapped S13. I've got the A90 Supra, which I'm still working on because I don't know, that car's really awkward. We've got the S15 that, like I said, I've just finished. And then we have this. This, honestly, without any extra tuning being done, without the fine tuning side of things, is right up there with one of my favorite cars. It is so simple. And it's just so well balanced. Like, the power, the tire grip, the way it holds angle. Everything about this car just works. And it just, I don't know, it really, really clicks, man. I really don't think I'm going to have to do a lot with this. I really don't. What I think I might do, just right off the bat, is I very much doubt I'm going to... Oh, not settings. I very much doubt I'm going to use anything more than third and fourth. Third and fourth look like they talk quite nicely together. So like I said, we're going to push fifth. Going to push sixth that little bit closer. So if we happen to get on a longer corner, we got fifth there. And we'll stick in that power band. But really, I don't think there's much I got to do with this car, man. The grip is fantastic. The gear ratios work really, really well together. Alright, here we go. Let's go backwards. Alright, look at that. I'm not even on the limiter in fourth. Oh no, driver error. I just threw the car a little bit too hard. She was not a fan of that one at all. She did not like me being that aggressive. Come on, girl. Out we go. Get a little bit of manji in. This car is fantastic. I think if I put some good solid practice in this car, man. I think I've legitimately got my favorite drift car in the game right now. This build has been so easy and so simple. One of those cars that's just like, she just wants to be a drift car. You know, she's not going to make it hard on me. She's just going to go, yep, drift car. I'm feeling that, you know. Let's make the build nice and easy on him. And boom. What a fantastic car, man. Very, very simple build. Very, very simple tuning setup. And it's absolutely brilliant. Oh my god, my voice. There we go. My first actual ever going for points run in this thing. I smash my A90's best run. This car is brilliant, guys. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Ever so smooth. And it's got to be one of the best looking drift cars on the planet. I mean, the Bullet Mustang, it's gorgeous. What I'll do, guys, is I'm going to put the tune up on the place where you guys can download it. I'll make sure to put the share code on screen. I want to say a massive thank you to you all for watching. Hope you guys all download the tune. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, guys, I'm currently getting destroyed by a driver tar. Why? I'm out of here. Thank you as always. Cheers.